Hey guys, what's up? So this video is going to be kind of pointless, but it is just like a quick kind of, oh, it's not as hard as it seems little video, just in case, you happen to have a laptop with similar problems. I don't know, but I thought it might be useful for somebody, so I'm going to make it anyway. This is the inside of my friend's gaming laptop. All I did was open up the bottom by unscrewing it and just basically used a spudger just to go around the edge and get the back plate off, and I was presented with this. Now, the problem he said he was having was that every time he launches and the second it gets into Windows, from the BIOS splash screen, it gets into Windows, it would instantly freeze and blue screen and shut off. So that, I kind of thought, is one of two things. Well, it's either heat, and you can barely see it, but this thing was disgusting when I first opened it. So, grab some air and just... But, even so I thought, okay, maybe clean the fans. That's definitely step one. But then I decided to check here. So there is no, obviously, something you see I'm missing here. There's no RAM in this RAM slot. There's no SSD in this M.2 slot. So his operating system and all of his storage is clearly here in what looks like a little SATA enclosure. So all I did was first unscrew that. After dusting it first, and then I just removed carefully this spot. So this is a 2015, 2016 gaming PC. It's got an i7-6700HQ and a GTX 970M. If you recognize those specs, those are the same exact specs as the Razer gaming PC, the Razer laptop that I gave away a little while ago, back in February. So I thought that was funny. I guessed his specs actually based on the date, and all I did was carefully pull up and outwards to access this. Now, I thought it was going to be a SATA SSD, but when I turned it around, I saw this. This is one of these cute laptop hard drives. Adorable, but disgusting. For reference, that Razer laptop had a 512 gig NVMe SSD. This just has a 1 terabyte hard drive. That's probably our problem. Blue screens are, especially when you get to Windows, are often linked to storage, because to get to Windows, it accesses your storage first. So, to get to the BIOS screen, if you can get to that, obviously it's not your hard drive yet, because it doesn't have to do any memory from your hard drive. Everything there is stored on the BIOS chip on the board. But it's when you actually launch into Windows where it accesses your hard drive. If you get a blue screen right away, it's either a driver problem or hard drive. So I took that out, and I just grabbed one of these. An M.2, SATA M.2, that I loaded Windows on it, and I just stuck it in to the M.2 slot and screwed it in. And then I called that a day. This is the PC fixed. Now, this empty RAM slot. One thing I noticed when I opened it was that empty RAM slot, but it booted to the BIOS, at the very least, and could get towards Windows, like it blue screen in Windows. So clearly it has RAM somewhere. I don't see any RAM on this board. That's because, as far as I can tell, it's either soldered under one of these heat sinks, or it's on the other side of the board, and they just give you one DIMM slot to, well, SODIMM slot I should say, to upgrade your RAM if you want to. So, sadly, unlike my Razer PC, this gaming PC only came with a measly 8 gigabytes of RAM. So, and because I'm so nice, and because I happen to have an extra, I thought I would take that, 8 gigs of RAM, and throw in 4 more. Now, 12 is a weird amount, but I don't care. So all I did was just basically shove it in and push down, and just like that, now he has 12 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs is fine for some things, but it's a little bit low for a lot of games, especially like the new Call of Duties that are coming out, and PUBG. They just take a little bit more RAM. Like, if you saw a while ago, I made a video about how Far Cry 5 was taking too much RAM, so I upgraded my friend from 8 to 16 gigs, and it ran fine. 12 gigs, not super amazing, but definitely better than 8, so that's just a free upgrade I threw in there. I'm stealing this hard drive because it's adorable. He gets an SSD so he can do his work on his PC. It's a win-win, so I'm just going to box this up and put it back. I know, like I said, this video is not, it might be helpful for you. Maybe give you a little confidence if you're trying to fix your laptop. That's just the problem it had. It was not booting. The issue ended up being the SSD, because this one booted fine, and it worked, and it was amazing, and I'm so happy. So the hard drive was the issue, and that's, like I said, blue screen right at the start, hard drive or heat. And heat, I mean, while it was dusty and disgusting, the fan still spun, so I don't think it could be heat right away, so definitely hard drive. And of course I installed drivers and everything, and it worked great. So, hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little video. I know it was probably useless to 99% of you. That's the point. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.